So today I'm just going to have a look at this fake Chinese impact gun, which is basically what seems to be a rip-off of a Makita tool, even the same colour scheme you can see there, and it uses the same battery. So we'll just have a look. That's the fake, that's my Sealy one, that's 3/8 drive, and this is the Makita that is really heavy duty, the DTW285z. I've used that to undo crank pulley nuts, bolts, anything like that that's a struggle. The only downside to this tool is the sheer weight of it. If you've got like 60-70 bolts to undo, which happens quite often at work, your hand will soon start fatiguing using this tool. So for me, I thought for my own personal use, let's have a look at this 1/2" drive Chinese version, which is made by Tianyu Tools, and it's a brushless wrench. You can have a look at it. It uses exactly the same mounting for the battery as the normal Makita range, and when it arrived yesterday, it literally just came in a cardboard box, and actually the stub of the tool was bashed out the side of the cardboard box, so it might not even work, but we'll soon find out. So looking at the tool size wise, it's quite similar to my Sealy one in terms of length. If you put the two top of each other, look, that's pretty compact, to be honest. The difference is my Sealy one is rated to 80 Newton meters. This one is rated to 520 according to the body of the tool. But they're both brushless, so you'd expect similar power output. The Sealy one cannot undo wheel nuts, but to be honest, it's not designed for that. This is the sort of tool where you want to whiz off nuts and bolts really quickly on, say, a cam cover, exhaust, things like that, where you don't want to spend ages with a ratchet. So if this can offer more power and be, you know, still pretty compact, obviously you've still got to put the battery on the side of it, then to me it will be a good tool. And for £49 on eBay, it's dirt cheap. Obviously you don't get the batteries with it, but I already have Makita tools. I've got a drill, reciprocating saw, this impact gun, so I've already got 3 4Ah batteries, so I'm not fussed about batteries. I don't need a battery. So if I can buy a cheap version of a tool, and if at 50 quid it does the job for a year, 2 years, then to be honest, I think that's quite good value for money. So with the 3 tools together, you get an idea of size comparison. Obviously the Makita at the end, I haven't got a battery in it. That's on charge at the moment. So yeah, with the battery attached, you can see there's quite a big difference in size compared to my Sealy, which has also got an extended battery on it. So the Sealy's already got a bigger battery than it comes with. Normally it just fills in this section here, whereas I've got this extra bit. To be honest, for the amount of money I paid for it, I think those batteries are brilliant. They give it a bit more oomph. This tool, looking at it, build quality wise, seen a few issues. Going a bit closer, the sticker on there is not on properly, so it doesn't seem to work the way it should do. It's basically a speed adjustment from what I can see. Like I said, there was no manual with this, and when the tool is running it sounds a bit more agricultural. So let's try the Sealy. Listen to that, and then listen to this. The Chinese cheap tool to me sounds a bit more unrefined possibly, but that doesn't necessarily mean it won't be any good. It just could mean that obviously to cut price they've just used cheaper bearings and stuff like that, which still will do the job. If you look at this, the larger version, the Makita for genuine version, you'll see that the back housing that does the hammer action and the motor is absolutely enormous. Right, so just a quick test to see whether the tool is good enough for what I want. As you can see, I'm not using impact sockets. I'm not overly worried about that because there's not a particularly large amount of torque. This is the impact gun I currently use just to whiz things up, but it's not normally good enough to do wheel nuts. You see, struggles with that. You can see it's also got 3 bars of battery. Now, this one has only got, look, 2 bars, if you can see that. A bit hard to see, let me push it again. 2 bars of battery. We'll put it on loosen. Even that struggles. Maybe with a fully charged battery it'll be able to undo it. We'll have to come back in a minute with a better battery. Just got ourselves a battery cooking on the old charger. So while we're here, this is the same battery, two bars left in it, and this is the bigger Makita version, which is a huge old tool. Nuts off, easy as you like. I've just noticed something while mucking about with this. So this sticker here was actually on the wrong way round. If I pull the trigger now, see it's lighting up, hopefully you can see that. It's a bit difficult in the light. You can see the LEDs light up. So you've got your different modes. So that's the small, that's medium, that's large, which I assume is the type of bolt, and then the other one must be your indication of power. So yeah, that's what you get with Chinese build quality. Sticker stuck on the wrong way round. Obviously not difficult to change, but yeah, a bit shit that no one noticed that. So with 2 bars of battery, tighten that up, and then let's reverse it. See whether it is. There we go. Let's just do another test. Now we've got my Sealy, so we'll know whether that is currently outputting more torque than this. Which is yes. So it does put out more torque than my little impact gun, but how much more? Not 100% if I'm honest. I'm starting to think this might have been a waste of money. True test will be when I put a full capacity battery in, because this one has been used a lot for drilling and other bits and bobs. So hopefully when you put a new battery in, we'll start seeing some more power. If not, then I'll be the first to admit this is just Chinese junk and not a copy of the Makita. Well, not a good copy of the Makita. Right, so we've just got this one straight off the charger. You can see 4 bars there. Hopefully you can see it. 4 bars fully charged. So let's see what it's capable of doing. Need to put it in. This is the weird reverse mode it's got to stop you from fully undoing bolts. Don't know. And no, it's not having it. Let's try again. That was better. Try another one. Gets there in the end. Right, so it has got a bit of got a bit of oomph when it's got a fully charged battery in it. I'm pretty sure it hasn't got 520 newton meters. That would make it 5 times more powerful than the Sealy, and probably would state that it's more powerful than my actual big Makita. But for wheel nuts, like I said, I pull these up by hand, so they're probably quite tight, probably over specified for the torque, but I'd rather the wheel not come undone. So overly not that impressed with its power output. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe if I used a proper impact socket, because this is one of those tight fit ones that's, you know, not an impact, it's not a perfect size. Maybe I'd get more torque on it and it would output more power. That's probably another test I'll have to try at some point, get some impact sockets. I should get some anyway now that I've got an impact gun. But yeah, so I think the build quality is alright. One of the things I have noticed whilst just using it is that the cooling fan is quite good. I can feel it. I mean, that's quite far away from me, and I can feel the fan, which is just in that back section, blowing a lot of cold air. So the tool shouldn't really overheat unless that fan breaks, but I've got no reason to suspect it will. Everything is coated in like a rubber finish, which should make it fairly rugged. And you've got your normal impact forward and reverse switch just there, which is what you'd expect with any tool of this type really. Obviously the label's a bit of a shambles, to be honest, but I mean, you'd think in a factory someone would notice that when you pulled the trigger nothing was lighting up, but you know, what can you say? And it's in China and they're probably bashing them out as quick as they can. I don't know what the purpose is of this plastic housing either on the front. Is that supposed to protect it? I mean, that's going to get smashed easily if you whack it. So there's a few design things, but overall it's not a bad tool actually. If you've got Makita batteries already and you want a cheap impact gun, then it's probably good. If you didn't have such a long socket on it, it'd be even better. So like I said, 50 quid on eBay. Not the best tool in the world, but probably decent enough value really. And it's not overly heavy, it's quite easy to hold. Don't think I'd start getting fatigue. I mean, my left hand now is starting to feel a bit like holding the tool up a lot. I can feel it, but nowhere near as bad as the larger Makita. And obviously this is a 4 amp hour battery, which is one of the larger ones anyway, which doesn't really help with the weight of the tool. So yeah, I hope this video has given you an idea of what to expect from one of these cheap replicas. Like I said, with a fully charged battery, it's managed to undo my wheel nuts that were tightened up by hand with a breaker bar. So it'd probably be enough for what you want working on the car. I'm going to use it for, well, I brought it for a specific job of driving in screws on a new pond I'm constructing into the timbers. So for 50 quid, if the tool does the job, it will save me a lot of time. And if it breaks during it or towards the end of it, it's not really a big deal. I'll just chuck it away. It saved me a lot of time. It was worth having just for that one job. I think I've got driving 120 250 millimeter screws, so they're quite deep, and this tool is probably going to take a bit of a beating. So we'll see how it gets on with that and whether it survives. I hope you've enjoyed this video and this quick look at this tool. Make sure you like and subscribe for more.